Morning everybody, Sunday the 9th of March. As you can see, it's still beautiful weather, so as a result we have made fantastic progress. As you can see from the field behind us, this is spring wheat. This is light land. It has now been planted, so all of the light land has been finished gradually over the week. We had to take a couple of days off in the middle when Jack was off attending his facts. Monday the 3rd of March started with a pass through Grey's mustard residues with a pig-tailed cultivator. Although we operate a direct drilling system, previous establishment counts have shown 50% establishment in a direct drilling system versus a conventional establishment rate of 80%. Hence, we believe tilth or soil crumb to aid seed coverage is very important. As a result, we use a shallow cultivation in the spring to generate tilth, in this case on light land with the pig-tailed cultivator. Tuesday the 4th, and we made a start with drilling spring wheat. Because this light land has a high flint content, we prefer the Claydon drill as the moor suffers high wear in this soil type. Yep, so that's all right. And here, looked to me as if the drill was tipped a little bit forward, but there you go, two separate ones, both good bearing. Little bit shallow on that one. This one, good depth. Wednesday and Thursday, Jack was away on his FACS Fertiliser Advisors course, so little field work was completed. However, I returned to the drainage project to try and uncover the cause of our drain blowout. We traced the clay drain through a 45-degree turn and believe we have found the blockage. We ran out of operator time, so we have left the clay drain uncovered for the moment. Currently, we plan to try and push a perforated plastic drain pipe through the existing clay drains as a repair measure. Despite delays, after sourcing some additional stone for turning pads, Friday was dry enough for FGS to finish applying digestate to our remaining winter wheat. We are applying 20 cubic metres per hectare, providing the crop with around 100 kilos of nitrogen per hectare, a little more than 30% of the crop's annual nitrogen requirement. In addition, we're hoping the crop can access the unmeasurable micronutrients associated with organic manures. Morning everybody, it's Saturday and the 8th of March and we are out doing some crop walking. So this was one of the fields that got treated with digestate this year. I think, so this is on my own account. This is not the contract farm that we finished last week, and we've had quite a successful week. So you can see the runs of digestate here. This, as you can see, we describe this as light land, but it's got quite a high flint content. They're not all that big, and it has travelled pretty well, I would say. So there is a little bit of sinkage, but it's not too bad at all. So it's a very long, thin field. I think it's over 1 kilometre long, and so it's pretty fast and efficient. And as you can see, there are some lumps where because it's got quite a... Oh, there you go, that one's a drilling one. That's a little bit high. On reflection, this field hasn't been rolled. We have managed to roll most of our winter wheats. Yes, this would be the only field that hasn't been rolled, so just making a mental note, I definitely want to roll this, even if it's just for pushing the flints in. We have quite an issue here with it's difficult combining conditions, so it was obviously quite difficult drilling. As you can see here, I don't know if you can pick this up, it's quite a significant lump here. So we're getting a couple of those, and that's obviously left over from the drilling. And then you get ones like this. So they are not from the digestate spreading, unfortunately. They're from the drilling. So the reason I'm out here having a look at this is because I drove past on the road earlier in the week, and this looked quite barren, and I was dead worried. There's been some talk about wheat being written off by slugs in the spring, and certainly that's something we've got a field that's definitely gone backwards, and I don't quite know why. Well, I do know why, it's slugs, but I don't understand why they've become so active. So quite pleased to see this as thick as it is, because I was quite concerned. So this is sorry about the train. So this is part of our low input system. This will probably be the only nitrogen fertilizer this field gets, I'm thinking. It used to be a bad brome field, and we've got that, and that was got under control nicely with all waste star, so we did manage to pull it back with that. But it's actually got a strip of heavy clay right in the middle. As you can see, it really dips down, and in that dip it's quite bad black grass, and what it was doing was it was starting to spread either side as the combine pulled it out. So really pleased that we've managed to clean it up. There is definitely like a 3-year transition. I'm guessing microbiology takes time to recover, but it looks as if it's around 3 years, and then after that it starts to improve again. But I got my soil mineral ends back this week, and for my soil testing, although my indices remain pretty strong, soil nitrogen is falling in one block, in particular on heavy land. Not that necessarily has an impact on availability within the plant, interestingly, but that can be clarified later with a SAP analysis. So I am worried about nitrogen, how we balance that. Now, it could be something to do with the light, but we're in the heavy bit, and compared with earlier, see, you can see from this direction quite clear lines up on the hillside, but it's definitely getting thinner down here. The plants are here, but they're nowhere near as thick. Nowhere near. It could also be a little bit of frost as well, but this is sort of what I'm worried about. Certainly very pleased that we've got some nitrogen on. I was just wondering if I just saw some Yeah, there's definitely looks like some slug damage down here. Grazing of some kind. Obviously, when you've got a railway like that, you do get plenty of slug damage. You do get an occasional flint like that. Look at that for a beauty. Definitely want to get that rolled in. We have been debating putting some sort of wildflower strip down the outside in order that the government pays for feeding the rabbits instead of me. Look at that, beautiful. I like the way it's just keeping the mist in the valley and that sunrise, beautiful. Morning everybody, Sunday the 9th of March. As you can see, it's still beautiful weather. Hopefully we will get this rolled today, and that kind of puts the light land to bed. Then it's a question of how do we move into the heavy land. So that'll be the next challenge. Some of it is still sitting very wet, but I think maybe we start a sort of a transition as we move steadily towards the heavier end of the spectrum. Some of our very heavy land is actually in winter beans this year, so that will, though we don't have to worry about it this spring. Really pleased to have some sun on my face and soil temperatures warming up, and I'm hoping that will address some of the challenges in the winter wheats, that the sunshine and digestate will help them kick on, and then we can get on with a first application of bagged N. So where I'm really pleased, thank you dog, get out of the way. So what I'm really pleased about here is the moisture, and a bit shallow there, but there they are, and look, already chitting. Really pleased with that. So this was the first field in the sequence drilled. It was drilled on Tuesday, so what are we now, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days, and we've got chitting. So we will follow the plan from last year, which is to get this rolled, and then just before the wheat emerges, try and get out here with a weeding harrow and just give it the surface another hit. As demonstrated last year in the trial, that every head of black grass we cut out, we got an extra head of wheat, and that equated to about an extra half a tonne a hectare as a result. So definitely be following that protocol again this year, and it probably generates a question, how come it's as much as half a tonne? I think there's a degree of seed protection, not just black grass suppression. So both the weed suppression and increased tiller numbers both help contribute to that extra yield. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.